Hey everybody, Paul Canfield, Copper Key Realty and Waterfront, back to you with another of the 16,482 things make a difference when you're thinking about buying or selling real estate, or even just thinking about real estate. So earlier today, we had a training meeting, and in our conference room next door, we were using the overhead projector with a cool drop-down screen. And this makes me think of houses that we sell that have a lot of built-in components that are specialized. Sold one earlier this year with a really cool theater room. Had drop-down seating, leather chairs that reclined, and they heated, and they had plug-ins to plug in your phone or other devices, and cup holders and speakers in the headrest, and it was really cool. And all that stuff cost a ton of money. The problem with anything that's specific or unique to a house that a person put in for their own reasons, a lot of times other people don't value it at the same value that you put into it. So when people are trying to figure out, what is my property worth? Or a buyer's looking at it saying, what's it worth to me? Well, if you take the most, when I say average, don't misinterpret that to mean that it's boring or bland or not very good. I just mean if you have the most average house, piece of real estate that the most people can use and will have that function will fit with their needs, you have a bigger pool of buyers to buy your product. And anytime you take it and you specialize it, we've had people who are woodworkers, and they'll have a custom built woodworking shop with all the vacuums for dust collection and shelves to hold the specific tools and all this stuff. And for a person that's really into woodworking, especially whatever type of woodworking the current owner built it for, that person will value that like you will. However, if you get somebody who's either not into woodworking, or they would use the room for a different purpose, or maybe they do woodworking on a smaller scale or a bigger scale than you do, then they're not going to value it as much. So just be aware that when we add up real estate, it's not a very good method to take your house and then just simply add on the things that you have added on, whether it's a theater room or something for woodworking or something for exercise, an exercise room that's real specific to the equipment, or even exterior buildings. If you built on a really huge pole shed, well, that is only valued at that huge pole shed value for another person, another buyer that can use it just that amount. Now, perhaps they would have built a pole shed that would have been bigger or smaller, or heated or not heated or insulated, or they would have built it over there instead of over here, or whatever. So just recognize going in that a lot of times you're not going to get your full value back, because most of the people out there aren't going to value it the way you did or want to use it exactly the way you did, unless we find that one right buyer who can fit right in with you. So just keep that in mind, that when you customize a house and you customize it the way you want, it's going to be difficult to get the full value back. Whatever time and effort and money that you put into it, it might be difficult to get that out of the next person. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about, what is my product worth? What is my house worth? Good luck. If you want to talk about it more, give me a call.